This is the most expensive Xbox controller in the world. It's made of 1.5 kilograms, so that's a little under 4 pounds of solid gold. And you might be wondering how we made it.
So I just got an email back from Expert Casting. They did some test casts and they can do it.
Yes.
It's going to be about 1.5 kilograms of 18 karat gold.
Wow.
Which is going to be $87,500.
Well, you only live once. Gold Xbox controller, here we come. This video is brought to you by the Volta 2.0, a universal, reliable, fast-charging magnetic cable that works across all USB devices, including with data transfer capabilities. Check it out today at the link in the video description. Let's take a moment to appreciate just how challenging this is going to be by cracking open this Pulse Red Xbox Series X controller. Starting with the battery cover, I guess. For disassembly, we pry off the outer shell, starting with these hand grips at the back, and then remove all the screws, including, this sneaky little boy under the sticker here. My warranty is now void, I think. Hello. Wow. That is a complicated part. If we want the functionality of the finished controller to be exactly the same though, we are going to have to recreate this one for one, and that won't be easy. Thin components, particularly ones with lots of intricate detail, are especially difficult to cast. That's why we won't be attempting this here in our own shop. Which brings us to Expert Castings here in beautiful downtown Vancouver. But as grand as the entryway looks, things are about to get down and dirty. Unlike ourselves, Expert Castings are just that, experts, with accolades like being one of 2 places in Canada that can work on a Tiffany piece and making jewelry for Disney, 50 Shades of Grey, Once Upon a Time, and many more. Now, they first tried to convince us to cast our piece in bronze, then gold plate it. This is generally what's done for movie props, like this one right here. It's way cheaper and usually gives a better result anyway. But problem is, this was one of those videos where we came up with the title first and then figured out how to fill in the gaps later. So we were stuck cutting a fat order of pure gold to the Royal Canadian Mint.
They just brought this over and look at it. We have 1 kilogram of gold right here. So this is a professional engineer's salary in my hands. And it's shocking how heavy it is given like the size. I'm surprised how small it is. Look at this thing.
For casting, you first have to create a negative of the shape that you want for the metal to be poured into. Adam is going to be taking care of this step called spruing. Wax gets heated up by a low temperature soldering iron and stuck to parts of our controller. This will create pathways for the gold to pour into. In the past, rings would be painstakingly hand carved out of wax, but now most parts are just 3D printed. Some parts they cast all the time, like this anchor. So for that, they've created a negative that they can inject wax into using this wax pot. All of the pieces on the sprue need to be organized kind of like an upside down tree. This shape makes it easier for the molten metal to flow into the cavities, while also making it easier for air to find its way out. That's critical because it's super important to accurately weigh the plastic and the wax on the sprue and use the density of those materials compared to gold to figure out how much metal will be needed to fill the mold. Too little metal and there won't be enough force pushing down into the mold, or it might just not fill at all. And too much metal, well, that's just wasteful, and that's very expensive waste. Now we need to create the investment, which will harden around our sprue. Simply add a 0.395 ratio of water to plaster powder in a large bowl, and then combine with a kitchen mixer for 2 minutes. Place the mixture under vacuum for 1 minute 40 seconds to remove bubbles, pour the plaster into the mold, and place under vacuum again for another minute and 40 seconds. From here, the whole thing is placed in the kiln at 700 degrees Celsius overnight. This will give the wax and plastic time to melt and then burn off, leaving only voids behind. Now we're basically ready to melt the gold. But there's one problem. Our hunk of gold is too big. If it makes you feel any better, this is much more painful for me to watch than it is for you. So if you could go to lttstore.com right now to ease the pain, that'd be great, thanks. Now you guys might have guessed that during this chopping process, tiny flakes of gold will fall off. It's not too bad. The flakes coming off of our piece here total only about 10 to 20 cents, but they do add up. They actually sweep the floor here and the benches every day, chuck it in this big bucket, and in a year, it can catch about $100,000 in tiny pieces of gold. Our second problem is that the Royal Canadian Mint is awesome, and their 4/9 gold bars are just too pure. But, okay, seriously though, even pleb American US mint gold would be much too ductile for actual use. In fact, oh yeah, it's so soft that it would probably deform in your hands the first time you got headshot by some 11-year-old in Call of Duty. So then, Summer here will be expertly creating our alloy using 450 grams of gold per 150 grams of alloy blend. We're using number 220, which is 12% zinc, 11.5% silver, and 76.5% copper. Blends are chosen mostly for the color that they produce, and ours should give us a nice orangey yellow look. Finally, it's time to melt some metal, baby. Using an induction oven, the gold is heated up to 1100 degrees Celsius, and our mold is then removed from the kiln at 600 degrees Celsius. The thing is, if the mold is too cool, then the gold might solidify before it fills in all the cavities. Before the gold can be added though, all the air in the mold has to be replaced with an inert hydrogen-nitrogen mixture. This helps prevent the gold alloy from reacting with the air while it's molten. So when everything's ready, they just lift up the center column that's lined up with the center sprue of our mold, and all the gold flows in. Is it going? Is it going? Did it go? Can I see it? Woo-hoo! Molten gold, David! Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound very confident. We didn't put in enough gold. Oh. The concern right now is that there's a bunch of tunnels that the gold is supposed to flow down, and there's one that it didn't go down, but there's like 5 that it did apparently. That's what she was poking at. She was poking to see if the tunnels were full. Let's see if it worked, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Woo! Oh.
Tragic.
Bummer. Oh, wow, it's heavy.
I guess we might not even need to worry about that though, because that's covered. Like all of this in here you don't see.
Oh, because of the.
So if we're just holding it together, I think it's fine.
Actually, you might be right. It's actually the texture. Oh my God, it has the texture of the Xbox controller. I mean, I know I shouldn't be surprised, but like, but it did it. Kind of looks like ass, hey?
Right? Like that's.
I wish my ass looked like that.
Tens of thousands of dollars, and it just doesn't look like anything.
Tens of thousands of dollars of ass. Of course, what you saw was only the back piece of the controller. So the front, the shoulder and trigger buttons, as well as, I don't know, whatever you call these back pieces in the battery cover, were all done ahead of time due to size limitations. So, with a combination of a soap bath, scrubbing with a toothbrush, scraping with a pick, and even some actual removal of the material, this will turn in to this. Now, this was our first cast, and it was pretty good, but there are some small surface finish problems. Once it's cleaned up, we should be able to go from a more satin-like finish to a super shiny one like you actually see on this corner here. Of course, there are still some problems that we have to solve, like for example, what are you gonna do about the parts where the sprue was joined to the original plastic? I don't know, but I can't wait to see if the thing actually comes together. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Test fit time. Oh, that's it. Okay, where's my battery cover at? Alex, can you be my third hand here? Oh man. Once all the sprue crap is on there and this fits together, this is gonna be crazy. Guys, do not miss the next part of this. And don't miss this segue to our sponsor, Drop.com. Dang guys, we need that sponsor dollars. Like, bring on the Raid Shadow Legends. No, but seriously. Drop.com is featuring the Control keyboard. It's one of their top-selling keyboards with over 11,000 sold, and why not? It's got a solid CNC aluminum frame, a built-in switch plate, RGB lighting, QMK firmware for excellent customizability, hot swappable key switches, and your choice of Cherry MX, Kaiwa, or Halo switches. It features a floating key design with dual USB Type-C connectors and weighs 964 grams. The only way it could be heavier is if they made it out of a heavier metal. So check it out at the link down below. If you guys enjoyed this video and you love crazy projects, maybe you'd like our water-cooled PlayStation 4. That's right, we did one of those a while back. It's, we don't have anything current gen. Look, we're working on it, okay?